So a lot of you guys have been wanting me to do a tank tour of all of my tanks, a feeding video, that kind of thing, but there's still one more tank that I still wanted to add some more fish to before I actually did that tour. And it's a tank that a lot of you guys have been wanting me to show for a little while now, and I haven't shown it in like 3 or 4 months now. I don't know, it's been a while, but the last time you guys saw it, I had quite a few fish in the tank, and basically what happened is with all those fish that were in there, they were doing great and all that, and then I had an ammonia spike and I lost a lot of those fish, unfortunately. So the tank's been running for a couple of months now. It's doing really good. It's crystal clear, and the only fish that I have in here and that's been in here for a while now are the 4 Agassiz cory cats, and it just looks like an empty tank because half the time they're in the back hiding. Now I've got all kinds of fish. I've got cichlids, tetras, catfish, a bass, a gar, shrimp, oddballs, all kinds of fish, but there's still one fish that I don't have at least inside in an aquarium, because I do of course have a pond outside, and that is a goldfish. I just don't have any goldfish, and there's one particular type of goldfish that I've been wanting to get for years now. Ever since I saw them, I've been wanting to get some, and recently I finally ordered 2 of them and they came in today. That goldfish is called the Panda Telescope Mort. Now there are all kinds of goldfish, but these really stick out to me just because of the color. You know, when you think of a goldfish, you think of an actual goldfish, an orange, white, maybe calico kind of pattern, but you don't think of a black and white goldfish. But that is what this fish is. It's called a Panda Telescope Mort. Basically just like a regular telescope Mort or a black Mort, but just in a panda version, black and white. So it's pretty cool. I just got them in about an hour ago, but here they are right here. And I mean, these guys, they just look so freaking cool. I don't know how well you guys can see them in there, but they're pretty dang small right now. But these guys, they can get much bigger than this. So I'm gonna go and set these guys in the tank and let them go ahead and start acclimating. Check them out though. I mean, just look at that. That is so freaking cool looking. They are just so unique. I mean, as a goldfish, you don't think of that when you think of a goldfish. So I've only got 2 of them just because I want to give them enough room to grow in this tank, and hopefully we'll be able to keep them in here long term. If they for some ever reason do outgrow this tank though, I do have an outside goldfish pond that they would be totally fine in. But let's go and let these guys acclimate, let them settle in and all that. They've had a pretty long little shipment, so we'll let those guys settle down and we'll come back and put them on into the tank in a couple of minutes. The one thing I don't like about this tank is whenever I have to like acclimate fish or do whatever to it, I have to take the whole entire like glass top off and the light, just because I don't have a lid for it. It's just one single piece and it fits it perfectly. So yeah, that kind of sucks, and the water's about to overflow. But anyways, the plants in here are doing really good as well. I think I put 4, maybe 5 spiralis plants in here a couple months back, and I mean, you can see how well they're doing. I'm not sure what they looked like the last time you guys saw this tank, but I know they have definitely grown and have done pretty dang well. Saltwater tank is looking and doing really good as well. There's our 2 snowflake clownfish right there, the Royal Gromma and the 6-line wrasse. By the way, those 2 guys have been getting along really good as well. And let's see how long it takes for the shrimp to get on my hand. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, yep, he's on it. There he goes. Literally every single time I stick my hand in the tank to move a coral or something, he literally just, he finds my hand. It don't matter what part of the tank I put it in. He could be right out here in the front corner, and I could stick my hand in the very back corner back there, and he would literally just zoom back there just to get to it. Freaking crazy. And also our new tiger endlers that we got in the last video, they are all looking and doing really good as well. There's a couple of them mixed in right there. Check them out, check them out. Cannot wait till these guys start to breed in this tank. We're gonna have a whole bunch of them in here in a couple of months, I think. But yeah, they're a cool little mixture. I've got some of these, and then also some of the red endlers. That one right there is one of them. That one's probably the best looking one in here. That lyre tail one right there. So we got 2 different types of endlers in here. But you know, I don't really care too much about line breeding endlers. I'm not so big on that. Guppies maybe, but endlers, I just like having a tank like this with some plants in there and just having a whole bunch of little endlers. I think that's pretty cool. And I said that these guppies finally had some babies here lately, and there's a couple of them right there. Check them out. They are tiny. But you know what? For being so tiny, look at the tails. I don't know how well you guys can see it, but if you look really closely at their tails, they've already got some color coming in on their tails. If I could get a good shot of one, that'd be really nice. Can you guys see that right there on that one's tail? Look at it. The other one's got it on there too. They've got 2 little bitty blue stripes on there. That's pretty freaking cool. There's the stir-by-cories right there, just chilling out along the bottom. Well, I think these guys have been acclimating long enough for now, and I bet you they are ready to get out of that bag. So let's go and get them on out of there and into the tank. Alright, you guys, here we go. Oh my gosh, look at that little guy. Holy cow, here we go. In 3, 2, 1. There he is. Check him out. Oh my gosh. Look at that. Here's the second one. Look at that little guy. Oh, oh, oh. And there we go. He's in. Check that out. I think the other one went back here. Yep, he went back there with the Corys. Check that guy. Alright, let me get the light on the tank. Oh my gosh. Look at that. Tell me that does not look cool. Check that guy out. He's so cool looking in contrast to the escape of the tank and the colors in here. That is just so freaking wild. Oh my goodness, the Corys are coming out now. Look at that. That is so freaking cool. The other one's back here. There he is right there, just chilling out on the bottom. I can understand why they're pretty stressed out, you know. And it'll take these guys a little while to settle into the tank and all that. But you know what? Goldfish and live bears and stuff like that are just fish, as I mentioned in last video about the endlers. They're just fish that don't take that long to settle into a tank and get used to you feeding them. So it shouldn't take these guys long at all to get really used to me and to settle into this tank. They've got a pretty dang big tank. I doubt that they were being kept in this big of a tank. I think this is a 33 gallon. I may be wrong. I know it's got some weird dimensions, but it's definitely big enough for these two guys right here. And should be big enough to house them long term. And if it's not, like I said, if they do end up getting too big for this tank, then I do have a pond outside that I can put them in. I'm not only glad that I finally got these fish right here, but I'm also glad that I finally just got some fish to look at in this tank. You know, I've got the 4 Corys in here, but they stay hidden all the time. Oh, the other one's coming out. Look at this. Check that out. Oh my goodness, guys, this is so freaking cool for me. I've always wanted these goldfish right here. That is just wild looking. You just don't think of that when you think of a goldfish. It's so freaking wild. They look like a goldfish. They just don't really have the color. But I did notice on one of them, I think it may be this one, he's got a tad bit of orange right there in the middle part below his dorsal fin, if that made any sense. But kind of like right, if he would turn back, oh, like right there, there's a little spot of orange. But other than that, they've got a cool little panda look to them. And they're called Panda Telescope Moor. That's exactly what they're called. I'm going to go ahead and let these guys settle into the tank now. And I'm going to come back and check on these guys in a couple of hours. Montage there of our new panda goldfish. I've been watching these guys for like the past 30 minutes now, just trying to get some good shots of them, and they're pretty cool. They've just been kind of picking their way around the tank, looking for things here and there, picking on the rocks and in the sand and stuff like that. And it's crazy. Remember how I mentioned earlier how it seems like they kind of brought out the panda Corys? Well, they've been kind of schooling with the Cory cats in a way. It's kind of weird, but I don't know, if it's bringing the Cory cats out, then I'm all for it. But they're doing really, really good. I'm glad to have some really cool fish in this tank right here. And it's going to be really fun to watch these guys grow in this tank. They get around 8-9 inches, sometimes a little bit bigger than that. And that's really why I only got 2 of them, because I want to keep them in here for long term. And even when they get big, I want to still be able to keep them in this tank right here. But if, like I said, if they just get too big for the tank and I just think that I need to upgrade them, then I'll of course move them outside into the goldfish pond, where they should do pretty good out there. I think I'm just going to let these guys settle on into the tank for tonight, and I'll probably try to feed them sometime tomorrow. But for now, they are looking and doing really, really good, enjoying their new tank. And of course, I'll give you guys an update on them in the next video and see how well they're doing then. But for now, they are doing really, really good.